All right, folks, here we go. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Always glad to be with you at bangthebook.com. Football is behind us, but it's not like we've got a lot of things on the plate to look ahead to. Let's get fired up for college basketball, the NBA, the NHL, and how about something different? We're going to do videos this week on the Olympics and also on the odds to win the Masters as we really start to focus on the PGA Tour. Don't forget the Sports Betting Podcast with Adam Burke. Adam does a great job. I join him every Tuesday. Great hockey talk this week on the Sports Betting Podcast. Check it out with Adam Burke. All right, let's talk about the Olympics. Something different. It gets going at the end of this week over in South Korea. And the bottom line is, for us in Vegas, it's kind of a new thing now, as you can wager on the Olympics. And we'll start with the gold medal count with Norway the favorite at 10 to 11. Their odds-on favorite. Yeah, I mean, they got you covered in all facets. I mean, you get them on cross-country skiing, speed skating. Seriously, Norway, this is their lifeblood. They love the Winter Olympics. And you look at Germany at 5 to 4, the second choice. The Germans can certainly step up across many platforms. As for the USA, we'll be focused on them, certainly figure skating. The hockey we'll get to in just a second. 11 to 2. In the United States. Then you start getting into balloon numbers that are kind of unrealistic. Canada 15 to 1. Netherlands will do great in speed skating, but that's about it. 50 to 1 there. And then big balloon numbers on Austria that's very good in the skiing platforms in France, both at 150 to 1. Let's talk about the downhill skiing. The men's downhill, maybe it's me, I'm easily amused. One of my favorite events of the Olympics. And thrilled that actually this time around NBC is going to be televising these things live, so you don't have to throw your laptop away and get off social media. In downhill skiing, Askell Lund Svindal is the 5 to 2 favorite. He's a big name. I will say this, in men's downhill, in this one event, there are guys that dominate on the world circuit all year long. But you get to the Olympics, and somebody out of nowhere usually does something. Could be the second or third guy on a specific team, could even be the United States. I think the field in the men's downhill is actually a pretty good wager at 15 to 1 because many times somebody comes out of nowhere and has that one run of a lifetime. So I'm going to be playing the field in the men's downhill. As for the women's downhill, different animal here. Lindsey Vonn's on the board, odds-on favorite at 5 to 6. Second choice is Sofia Gaggia of Italy. She's at 3 to 1. Michaela Schifrin from the United States is listed at 15 to 1. Well, she's almost a stroke on the board in the slalom events, not necessarily the downhill. And the field there is 20 to 1. I think the women's downhill, much more formful than the men's downhill. All right, elsewhere, men's hockey, which had been an amazing event since the NHL got involved. I think it's just a huge, massive mistake by the NHL to not get involved here. And as you look at this, Russia is on the board at 5 to 4. They make complete sense. They have more guys of world-class caliber. Pavel Datsuk's playing there. And we know that when the NHL was saying that they weren't going to go, there were Russian players in the NHL who says, yeah, I'm going to go. Well, they've all backed off that stance. But several of the guys have gone back to the KHL just so they could be eligible to play in the Olympics and represent their country. So I think Russia will be very, very tough to beat. Obviously, the goaltender's a great equalizer. Canada's second choice at 9 to 4. Sweden's at 4 to 1. USA 15 to 1. I mean, it's kind of a hodgepodge. Brian Jonta, who didn't even play in the NHL this year, is going to be the captain of this club. And women's hockey, well, you talk about a two-horse race. We don't have to go any further than the United States at 4 to 5 versus Canada at 11 to 10. Could be one of the most must-see events of the Winter Olympics game. Will likely be the gold medal game between the U.S. and the Canadian women. Plenty of opportunities on the wagering board. The Winter Olympics about to get going. Doesn't matter what the sport is. If it's on the board, you have an opportunity. And obviously with mobile apps and quirky start times, people can be sitting in their living room as an event's about to start and they're going to get involved. Love talking sports with you. Sports wagering here at bangthebook.com. Follow along on Twitter at bangthebook and the Sports Betting Podcast with Adam Burke. I always love joining Adam on Tuesdays. Coming up next, we're going to have a video on the odds to win the Masters. The first golf major is not all that far away.